This will be a game of Setons where I'm gonna focus on mid play between Tnuk and Affleck, two very good mid players. Hopefully, see some nice mid play from which people can learn. So first, if we look at Tnuk, his build very aggressive, basically a land factory, two mexes, mass extractors, and sending his ACU to the middle. This factory is probably going to make NGs, go to the hydro, get power. Power is the most important thing early for your mid player because your mass you can get from the middle here. Affleck also is going to be slightly less aggressive but still very aggressive. Two powers, a mex, and a land factory. And again, he's making NGs. So let's see, I will make this slightly faster. So now again, the set maps, we have it's a 4 and 4, and the rest of the players on this map are also very good. Most likely decide the game, but early on, basically the first 10 minutes, the battle over mass, and whatever mass the mid players get and that they can't use gets passed on to their allies. And actually, a lot of strats depend on their mid player getting mass. If your mid player doesn't get you the mass, most likely a lot of your economy is going to suffer and you will lose. That's why a lot of times you want a good player in the middle. And here you have about 16,000 worth of mass, and you can see both commanders, both Tnuk and Affleck, going to the middle. And we can look who the other players are. We have Berg versus VIP in air, Sith versus Andiru in navy. Really good players all around here. And then Cepha versus Crusader in the other navy. And now you can see we have a scout Affleck has sent ahead. He's got a radar unit. He's looking to see if Tnuk is sending any fast units. So both players are playing Seraphim. They don't have the very fast light assault bots, but they do have tanks. And we see actually Affleck sending two tanks. It's a pretty big investment early on. So Affleck's will have an NG, two tanks, and a scout, while Tnuk is just going in alone. He's got some NGs getting mexes, and you can see by third minute he's got a whole bunch of power. And so does Affleck. He's got a bunch of powers now, starting to make factories. And you can see both commanders doing their job, getting mass. See, Affleck now here has a force which he may choose to move forward, and now he also has an NG reclaiming some of this mass. The first shots in the game, commander and commander, and with a commander unit can actually regenerate itself. So for basic, it's 10 health per second. So really shooting the commander with weak units doesn't help you. It just makes noise. Might as well do it anyway. So you can see how Affleck is now surrounded by no mass. He can't reclaim. So this is basically the strategy here. You want to leave the other ACU in a position where they're not extracting. Of course, Affleck did have an advantage of extracting also with his NG. It's a good move. And you can see good micro with the tanks. He's avoiding attacking the commander. Now you see the ACU gets much more damage by Arty, although it can dodge it. Arty units usually have much more damage per second, or damage per shot. You can see here Tnuk is getting his force ready. He's not ready to move in yet. He'll take as much punishment with the ACU, waiting with his ground forces, and now he may choose to move in, but both commanders at this point being very careful. And Affleck will go with his commander against this force, and Tnuk may either choose to attack or retreat if he does the right choice, because there's a supporting army and an ACU plus a small army at Tech 1 level. It'd be an easy win for Affleck. So now we see Tnuk walking away. So he's got his mass at this point. He will most likely upgrade his commander. You can see factors in the distance. Oh yeah, now we see Affleck actually upgrading his commander and helping with his engineer. And that really helps. Now you get 50% more build power. Commander builds his two engineers at Tech 1. Tnuk is also upgrading, but he's got a lot more engines helping. This is a really good move. You save a lot on time. Now he's most likely getting Tech 2 Engineering, and Affleck is getting either Tech 2 Engineering or the gun. Those are the two first upgrades that people like to get. And you see some fighting in the air, which looks like Sith will win and take control of air. There was a bomber with 3 kills from Andy Rue. So it's nice to harass. It's mostly recon for the other mid player because Tech 1 Raider doesn't really reach very far. Probably has about this coverage for Tnuk and about this much for for Tnuk and about that much for Affleck. Now you see Tnuk has got both T2 engineering and he's got the gun, while Affleck only has the gun. So the difference here between the ACUs is that Tnuk is going to have more health and he's going to regenerate faster than Affleck, plus will have more total health. And here you see a nice skirmish between the ACUs and the armies. So it's really important to pick this moment when you want to attack. You don't want to lose your units. And you can see here both commanders doing the right thing. Instead of shooting each other, they're shooting the armies, things that cannot regenerate, because shooting the commander will basically mean it will most likely regenerate if you don't kill it. Another thing that happens is that both commanders get veterancy. You see, we have Affleck, it just had 40 kills, and every time you get veterancy, you get more total health plus more regeneration. But now we see Tina getting to 26 kills. So it's basically a contest who can kill more of the other people's units, which makes sense. And you can see the production here. Affleck has 7 factories, while Tnuk has 10 factories. We see a lot of T2 mexes, which is possible because of all the mass they've extracted. But now we see after the battlefield, there's still a whole bunch of mass, and Tnuk doing the right thing, sending an engineer into battle, which will most likely try to get some of this mass, and another engineer here. So a really good move by Tnuk. Of course, this engineer will die very easily if he gets shot, but it's a good risk to take, because a lot of times the other player can't tell what these units are. Well, now it can. Now these engineers will die. So total kills, 70 kills for Affleck. He's a little low on health. And Tnuk has 46. Of course, at this same time, we got a big battle going on. Back players mostly getting air at this point. It's 10 minutes into the game. So ASF is coming in. And the middle really looks like a stalemate. Now we see a really important thing that happens for the mid player is which navy wins basically the ocean. So at this point it looks like we have Tech 2 submarines from Crusader, which are easily going to kill these units, Tech 1 units from Cepha. So now this ocean is full of rogue subs for Affleck. He really doesn't want to go here, and if he knows that, he might be told that, he will definitely retreat in the other ocean. Also, Affleck has built Tech 2 bots, which are really good, but now that bot you saw got overcharged. That's really a good thing you can do with your commander to counteract any Tech 2 units, is overcharge those overcharging Tech 1 units. So pretty standard procedure. Here you see a nice battle with a single destroyer and a bunch of Tech 2 subs, and the Tech 2 subs will win. See, total kills of over 100 kills for Affleck at this point. Tnuk is at 87, getting quite a few kills. So it looks like Tnuk has chosen to build even more Tech 1 units instead of upgrading to T2, while Affleck just built a Tech 2, and he's also making more factors to help his spam. See these Tech 2 bots getting lots of kills. Still a nice battle. It's good to get, and you can see always Tnuk is sending engineers into battle, getting this mass. Basically free mass, might as well get it. So every engineer costs about 50 mass to build, and if you can get more than 50 mass, it's about a single wreck. It reclaims 2 wrecks, you already won in terms of economy. Doesn't look like Affleck is doing that. But both commanders now. So we can see here the Tnuk has got Tech 2 engineering that allowed him to build Tech 2 PD, which is really powerful at this point. So Affleck taking quite a few hits. He goes down to 300 health, 100 health, but dancing he manages to survive. So that's a typical Affleck. It's really hard to beat, especially when he's dancing. Really a rogue ocean here for Affleck, so he made the right move and went over to the other. But if we zoom out, we see some Tech 1 subs coming in from Sith, going after, looking for Affleck. And here we see a cruiser, which actually doesn't have torpedoes, so won't be able to counteract here. And it looks like Affleck doesn't have Tech 2 engineering, so here's an advantage that Tnuk had to begin with, where he used more NGs to upgrade his commander. So he used about 5 versus Affleck used 1, and Affleck only got the gun, while Tnuk got engineering and gun. So these small things Tnuk is doing is reclaiming the battlefield, so free economy, and he used more engines to upgrade his ACU. And Affleck must have got word that there's T1 subs and just got out of water, because he was really low on health. He would have probably got killed, so it's a good move. And you can see it's a strange thing that's happening. Engineers are basically fighting an army, losing, but they're winning in terms of the economy. And if this army basically gets too close to this T2 PD, it will get killed. It's already got 12 kills. You can see Affleck doing some adjacency, which is at this point pretty much irrelevant. So Andy Rue coming in with a destroyer and a cruiser put some pressure on Tnuk. Of course, Tnuk has built a shield which will prevent any kind of nonsense. And these Tech 1 subs are easy killings for the destroyer. Much better in terms of submarine. Now Tnuk has just got another upgrade, which is most likely the cruise missile. Maybe we can see him shoot these. See, his commander is now at 20. Yeah, now he's building cruise missiles. His commander is at 20,000 health, which is almost double what it was to begin with when he started. But those two upgrade for engineering plus veterans, and you can see those cruise missiles flying up. Got a pretty high arch, and it will attack Tech 2 masses of Affleck. So this right here, if Affleck doesn't have defense against cruise missiles, it's pretty devastating. Each one of those Tech 2 mass points for Affleck was 1,000 mass, which is quite a bit. Now they're basically getting wiped out easily by Tnuk. So that's a really good advantage for Seraphim. They do have this directly on the ACU, which builds it pretty fast. So Affleck is getting T2, and now his first thing he's getting is getting tactical missile defense, so he's got another one already. So pretty devastating move by Tnuk. At this point, if we zoom out into the game, we see that actually, even though Affleck didn't really lose the fight, it was a very even fight, but at this point, with even teams, he would most likely get ran over by Tnuk. Of course, he put up a really good fight, but we see a total air domination from VIP, and but still, in terms of naval, we see Crusader kind of putting some pressure on Cepha, and Sith still in a nice battle with Andy Rue. Of course, there are these T3 torpedo bombers, which are devastating to any navy if you can't shoot them down. And Tnuk still, he's actually using his NGs to build those cruise missiles. You can see that Affleck lost at least 4 mexes. And now, together with shields and T3 air support, Sith is going to have to basically go back, retreat, and most likely lose most of her navy. So that's kind of the fate of a mid player. Even if you play really well, but the players around you lose, you will most likely lose. You're very vulnerable here in the middle. And now you see Tnuk is building another shield to hopefully not get wiped out by this navy. And now VIP is sending his T3 torpedo bombers against Crusader's navy, and that's going to be pretty devastating. So now both navies are won by the top side effectively. Tnuk, realizing that, will retreat. And that basically concludes any kind of competition between the mid spots. It lasted 20 minutes. Now they're just gonna hope that their teammates can fight this out. So I'm gonna end this replay here.